I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me. No, we're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all. We should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back. Starting from scratch, I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not, because I still believe you're my gravity. You will never be what I expected. Different frequencies, that's why we ain't connected. You know I will make it through. I got nothing to lose but you. It's true you're so far away, and it's true I can feel the same. It's another day, you know you want me to stay, but I go my way. I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not, because I still believe you're my gravity. You're my gravity. You're calling out my name, but the echo numbs your pain. Sorry, but more than just a shadow, I'm more than just a man. You don't care how I feel, you don't know how I feel. No, you don't know how. I wash away the sorrow till my heart can beat again. You're my gravity. No, you're my gravity. I will let you go. The only thing that I know, you were my gravity, but now I had to leave. I will let you go. Why do you think that I want? Why do you think that I want? I know how to breathe into my gravity. 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 I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me. No, we're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all. We should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back. Starting from scratch, I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not.
Warning. The Duracell Cup Series data file you have attempted to access is out of date. Uploading current file now.
It's a brand new car from stem to stern, and it's never been raced at these speeds.
The next gen car is opportunity.
Everything is different with the exception of like the seat, the steering wheel, and your helmet.
Unknown creates excitement.
Talking about my generation.
And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome here as we continue on our race weekend from Watkins, Glen International. Today it is pole qualifying for the Cup drivers in preparation for their 23rd race of the season. 4 stops left until we put together the 16 drivers that will battle for the playoffs. It is our 3rd road course stop of the season, and it is our 2nd road course of the traditional kind, as Donkey Kong Jungle Raceway was a bit of an anomaly. With that being said, 8 drivers have shown up here this weekend in an attempt to qualify for the 2 available spots for non-charter entries. 6 drivers will be going home, the largest go or go home group that we've had in quite a while. With the fact that this is a road course, there will be 10 minutes allotted to the go or go home drivers here in the attempt to lay down one of the 2 fastest laps, and in the upcoming second round when we run for the pole, those drivers will be given 15 minutes to be able to set down a pole qualifying lap. Couple of names we haven't seen in a while. A couple of drivers looking to make their first starts on the season as well. I believe the first driver that's headed out onto the racetrack has been the 82 of Jose Mills. There he is. We saw Jordan Lopez last time out have a great run in this 82 car at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Qualified well on the front row for that event. And Jose Mills, who is a multi-time winner here in Duracell Next Gen competition in that all-star car out of Blue Oval Automotive this weekend, crosses the line. That'd be his proverbial green flag, and he is now on the clock. Jose Mills so far this season has made 1 start, and he started on the pole position in that race. It didn't translate to a great finish for him, though, as he brought it home in the 24th position. So he's looking for his 2nd start here in Season 8. Coming out right behind him on his up-to-speed lap is Bryce Egan. Bryce will be pulling off the double this weekend, as he's also in the all-star car for Trackhouse Racing on the light side. We'll see them later on this afternoon at 3. Bryce Egan looking to make his 12th start on the season. So far, 3 top 10s netted for Bryce. Still looking for his first career top 5, though, in the Cup Series. As you'll see lap time scrolling on the top of your screen here in just a little bit as soon as Jose Mills crosses the line and puts the first official lap time down here in this session. 7 minutes remaining in the session, by the way. Kyle Langland, another driver that's trying to pull the double here this weekend, as he's in the Light Series race later on this afternoon. The driver out of World NOS Racing. Kyle is looking to make his 5th start on the season in that Icebreakers Dark Horse Mustang, as I believe that Jose Mills has indeed crossed the line. So we'll start to have the time scrolling by with less than 7 minutes to go. Andrew Miller. We mentioned about drivers looking to make their first starts on the year. Andrew Miller being one of those drivers. This is a 3rd entry out of the Fortnite Squad Racing stables. The number 75 Powerade Toyota. Looking to join Carson Gum and Dylan Poteet, who are already locked into the field with Charters. Andrew Miller, very good road course racer, and attempting to make, I would have to check back, I think this would be his first start ever in Duracell Cup Series competition, if indeed he is able to qualify. Talked about this yesterday. Another driver looking to pull off the double here this weekend, Ralph Mason, in a fourth entry out of Garage 55 in the 60 machine. And right now, Ralph Mason is top of the board at a 114.362. Ralph Mason looking to make his first start of the season, and I believe it would be the first start of his Duracell Next Gen Cup Series career, same as Andrew Miller. Hiccup Bush, we saw him make his first Cup Series debut back in Kentucky a couple of weeks ago. He's looking now to make his second career start, another entry out of World NOS Racing in that Brandt Dark Horse Mustang. And Autumn Brooks, one of two Garage 55 cars trying to qualify their way here in Go or Go Home qualifying. Autumn looking to make her 15th start on the season in that number 62 car. Another driver from the Light Series that's attempting the double here this weekend at the Glen, as she clocks in with the fastest lap right there, 113.925. She'll be starting from the front row later on this afternoon in that Light Series race. So good speed in the Lights car, good speed in the Cup car for the driver of the 62 machine. And here is the final driver attempting to qualify for this weekend's race, that being Seth Cole from the upstate New York area. This is home track. He's in the 43 out of Bishop Family Racing here this weekend, attempting to qualify for what would be his first start of Season 8. So as lap times start cycling in, Bryce Egan has gone to the top of the board, dropping Autumn Brooks down to second. Egan with a 113.780, 4 minutes left in the session, and we ended up seeing, at least yesterday in the Light Series race, a lot of drivers put down their fastest laps in their second or third laps of the session, and then the track just got too congested to be able to get optimal lap times. So right now, Bryce Egan, Autumn Brooks, they may have hit their peak with the 113.7 for Egan, a 113.9 for Autumn Brooks. Question is, what about those other drivers? Have they hit their peak as well? Langland just ran his fastest lap last time by, 114.066. That has him fourth on the board right now. Remember, it is the top two that will transfer into tomorrow afternoon's race. Ralph Mason did run quicker, but he is still in third position. Improves to a 113.898. Currently just about maybe 900ths slower than his teammate Autumn Brooks for the final transfer spot. We're staying here on the 93 of Kyle Langland, see if he can get into the 113s here. Looking to beat a 113.0, or 80 I should say, and no improvement there for him. Andrew Miller, no improvement as he sits currently in fifth at a 114.147, 187. Ralph Mason needs to find another 900ths right here. Can he improve on his lap time? No, slower for him, so the tire fall off may have already come into play. Hiccup Bush just jumped to third on the board though, a 113.862, so he'll leapfrog Ralph Mason, but he is still right now the first one out. Autumn Brooks on the bubble spot. Bryce Egan right now is looking like he is in good shape to transfer. He would need two drivers to beat his lap time. Autumn Brooks only needs one driver to beat her lap time. Right now, a couple of Fords at the bottom of the scoring pile. Seth Cole is seventh fastest, 114.261. Jose Mills, who was the first driver out on the track, at a 114.308. He is the slowest of the 8 drivers that have taken time so far here in this session. Bryce Egan running slower than his 113.7. That time almost a 114 flat, so already nearly 2.5 to 3 tenths of fall off. as now he might feel that he's pretty safe to lock himself into the field this weekend, so he's just kind of maybe using that 82 up ahead as a benchmark in trying to close up some lap time here. Langland has, since we last checked in with him, dropped down now to 5th fastest. No lap time improvement for him. Andrew Miller, no improvement for him either, as he is 6th. Major fall off for both Ralph Mason and Hiccup Bush that last lap. Nearly half a second fall off from their fastest laps. And same deal there for Autumn Brooks, 0.6 of a second slower than her fastest lap. So we may pretty much have our top speeds established here, and Bryce Egan, Autumn Brooks may be the 2 drivers that will be transferring in. So Seth Cole, Ralph Mason, Andrew Miller. Looks like the likelihood of them making their first starts on the season, not going to happen. Bryce Egan and Autumn Brooks, who of the non-charter drivers this season have made the most starts, collectively 25 starts between the 2 of them. Look like that veteran experience, if you can call it that, of all the other go or go home drivers is going to come into play here. And they will be the 2 that will transfer in. 0's on the clock. Brooks still sitting in 2nd place. No adjustment of her positioning. It's like indeed it is going to be Bryce Egan and Autumn Brooks that are going to be part of the drivers running the double this weekend. We'll see them later on in the lights race here in a couple of hours. They're going to have a shot to run for the pole in the upcoming 2nd round of qualifying, and they will be the 2 drivers that will transfer into this weekend's Cup race from Watkins Glen. WART 13.780 for Bryce Egan and 113.807 for Autumn Brooks. It's going to have them be the 2 transferee drivers in the biggest go or go home field we've had so far here this season. So a Toyota out of Haas Racing, a Mazda out of Garage 55. That means there will be 4 Haas cars and 3 Garage 55 cars in the Cup race this weekend. We're just waiting for scoring to officially cease. 0's are indeed on the clock. I believe lap times are no longer being counted. So we should be just moments away from when the red flag will fly and these drivers will be pulling off of the racetrack. Stay tuned in just a little bit after this break, as there we go. Finally, the session is concluded. After this break, we'll find out who's going to start from the pole position, a track that I feel track position is going to be key, especially right out of the gate. And there you go. Bryce Egan, Autumn Brooks, they're going to be running for the pole. They are locked into the field. Hiccup Bush, Ralph Mason, Kyle Langland, Andrew Miller, Seth Cole, and Jose Mills. They will fail to qualify for this weekend's race at the Glen. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we'll find out who's going to be getting that pole lap to start from the front row here for tomorrow afternoon's race here in the Cup Series. Don't go anywhere. Coverage of qualifying continues right after this. Thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast on NNSCRA TV. If you enjoyed your watching, it would help us out a lot if you'd hit that like button. Also, if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to become a part of the NNSCRA crew today. And if you're on your phone, be sure to click that bell to be notified whenever we have a broadcast here on NNSCRA TV. Once again, we thank you for your support, and we hope you continue to enjoy today's broadcast. Welcome back to Watkins Glen, as now 42 drivers will head out onto the racetrack looking to start tomorrow afternoon's race here from the pole position, or at the very least start up towards the front of the field, as Watkins Glen, Sonoma, it doesn't matter what the road course is, usually if you qualify well, it's a good chance you're going to finish well. You qualify mid-pack, rear of the field, you're going to have to rely on some pit strategy to gain you those positions that you lack at the drop of the green flag. There are a lot of storylines coming into this weekend in regards to battling for the playoffs. Eric Monaco going to be the first driver out here on the racetrack, and I like this. I like going out early because you want to have as clean racetrack in front of you as possible. You don't really want to have somebody in front of you, at least not in close proximity, because that's going to affect your comfort level on how aggressive you can be into these braking zones, specifically right here on the back straightaway into the bus stop. You want to have as clean racetrack in front of you as you possibly can. Maybe you can rely on a little bit of draft if the car is maybe about 7, 8, 9 car lengths ahead of you. But if you're right up somebody's gearbox, that is really going to hurt you in terms of getting that optimal qualifying lap. Monaco is going to be the benchmark driver. He'll be the first one to take the green flag and put the first official lap time of the session down. So we will not be showing you the ticker on the top of your screen until that happens. 10 minutes here in the second round of qualifying for these drivers to put down that pole garnering lap. And this is what I'm talking about right here. You see Daniel Voiles heading onto the track a little ways ahead of the 45, not right up the gearbox yet is Eric Monaco, though I think he is going to close up on him here in the S's, so this is not good. This is not what you want if you're Eric Monaco, because that just slowed you up through the S's heading down towards the bus stop. We saw our two drivers that qualified in the go or go home qualifying session moments ago clocking in the 113s. That's probably where you're going to want to be, in the low 113s if you're going to get the pole position. Maybe a possibility if you hit it just right to hit a high 112, but you'd literally have to have everything going your way for that to be a possibility. Gets up there on the curbing as well. Coming out of turn 6 does Eric Monaco, so this will not be an ideal first lap for him. Let's see what the benchmark's going to be. 116.445. Yeah, that is definitely not a good lap for the 45, and he's in traffic now with Breton behind and Daniel Voiles up ahead. I mean, his lap time was already beaten by about 3-4 other drivers that just crossed the start-finish line. 6.5 minutes left to go here. Took us some time to get Monaco around, put that benchmark lap up on the board. As right now, Jack Mitchell currently has the fastest lap in the 0-1, but that could change during the course of this one. Of course, as well as we kind of saw there in the go or go home qualifying session, feel like it's only going to be about 2 or 3 laps you'll have available to put down that fastest lap of the session before the tire wear starts to come into play. All right, let's talk playoffs. Levi McIntyre loses the points lead after last week's race at Homestead. Ryan Brommer now the new points leader and has a commanding lead of 25 points. Levi is still looking for that first trip to victory lane. He's also looking to lock himself into the playoffs on points. Well, Levi coming into this race currently sits a total of 84 points ahead of the cut line. There are still 4 races, including this weekend, left to run. But Levi, if he can keep a buffer of about 80 to 100 points between him and that 10th in the standings cut line, we have been told mathematically at the conclusion of this race, he could be locked into a playoff spot on points alone. That could give him a little bit of maneuverability this weekend to be more aggressive, try and find that first trip to victory lane here in Season 8, of course, as well, trying to fight for that regular season championship that pays out 15 bonus points towards the playoffs. This is a driver I think we need to keep an eye on this weekend for 2 reasons. Number 1, Laura Chung is a former winner here at Watkins Glen, got her first career win at this venue. Reason number 2, Auto Junction Racing is on a roll right now. Ryan Brommer's taken the points lead. We saw Summer Henson get her first career win last week at Homestead, moving her up into a playoff spot. And Laura Chung is hovering right outside of the top 10, 15th in points coming into this one. Things are going right for the Auto Junction Racing drivers. And I think that Laura Chung, being a former winner at this racetrack, might be able to dial up that previous victory strategy and maybe be able to get her second Watkins Glen victory here tomorrow afternoon. Well, one driver, I know this is virtual, but one driver that has actually made laps at Watkins Glen in real life is this driver, Benjamin Miles. Benjamin coming into this race currently in the 20th position in points. Had a great run last week at Homestead. Moved up 6 spots in the standings. Don't count him out. There's a number of drivers that I noticed last week had some good runs in Florida, and they could easily get a win or two here in the final closing stage of the regular season and snipe a wild card spot. I'd see Benjamin Miles. I'd see Charles Sanford, Matt McIntyre, Michael Norman. These are drivers that still have a shot. Even this driver right here, Jesse Turner, still has a shot, even though he's 24th in points. Couple of victories here in these final 4 races of the regular season, and he's got himself maybe in a playoff position. There's just drivers you cannot count out. There's Autumn Brooks, one of our transferee drivers from Go or Go Home qualifying earlier on, as 114.444. That's a lot of fours there for Autumn Brooks on her first lap of the session. And there is Summer Henson. First career victory last week at Homestead. Second rookie to go to victory lane this season. Eric Sadler being the first. We'll actually see Eric Sadler starting from the pole position in the lights race later on this afternoon. But Summer Henson moved up 3 spots in the standings, is currently locked in on points as things are currently running, but has that victory as well if necessary to battle for a wild card spot. Fastest driver right now, as things are currently scored, would be this driver, Anthony McCrory. One of our drivers that would fall under the category of road course ace. Anthony with a 113.838 right now. And that would have him about 500ths faster than the second place driver, which is currently the defending champion of the series, Jessica Shelton. I mean, you talk about some drivers that are looking for some last-minute victories. Anthony 34th in points, Jessica Shelton 37th in points. They're pretty much must-win situation scenarios, but they need a couple of victories here down this home stretch. And I mentioned before we even had our first driver file out onto the racetrack, I said good starting track position is key to finishing well at a road course. Right now, those drivers in line of doing just that. Matter of fact, a lot of your fast cars are right up here in this area. Carson Gum just up ahead. 3-time winner on the season, 5th in points. Is 3rd fastest on the board at a 113.928. And then just behind Jessica Shelton is Matt McIntyre. He is 4th fastest right now at a 113.990. When we leave Watkins Glen this weekend, we go to another racetrack that Matt McIntyre coulda, woulda, shoulda last season. Hanford Speedway. Had the dominant car of the day, got some right side damage. They repaired it. He lost track position, never gained it back. Another McIntyre went to victory lane at that racetrack that day in Levi. So Matt will be looking for some redemption when we get there, but running well here in qualifying, looking for his first win on the season, and Matt comes into this race 21st in points. Right now, if we were looking at the 6 wild card drivers, I believe that all 6 slots would be taken up with former winners, as Autumn Brooks just had an engine expire on her there, despite being 5th fastest on the board. Good news is you keep your positioning regardless of getting involved in a wreck or having an engine problem or a mechanical failure. Nick Gunther, we'll see him later on this afternoon. Light Series race. His teammates are currently 1st and 5th. He is 31st, though. Multi-time Duracell Next Gen Cup Series winner. As we cycle through the field here. Wow, James Qualls 41st on the board right now. Wow, we've got some big names that are currently up at the top of the board. Some big names going to start pretty deep in the field as well. Jack Mitchell for a time was the fastest, and he has since drifted down to 19th fastest in that car. Daniel Voiles, former road course winner this season back at Sonoma, 14th fastest for him. We'll see him in the lights race later on today. As the red flag is out, lap times are about to cease to be scored, and Anthony McCrory is going to capture the pole position. I don't know if yep, he has gone back out on the racetrack. There he is. 113.838 is going to get Anthony his second pole on the season. That's going to make him, I believe, the 6th multi-time pole sitter on the season, joining the likes of his teammate Nick Gunther, Eric Monaco, Caleb Fogler, Dylan Poteet, and Jessica Shelton. As there you go, session is complete. And it will be a Mazda out of Garage 55 that will lead us to green here tomorrow afternoon. A Project Dodge Intrepid alongside of him in second. McCrory and Shelton both maybe going to treat this as a must-win situation race, and they've got good starting track position to do so. Carson Gum looking for his 4th win on the season will roll off in third, with Matt McIntyre and Autumn Brooks completing your top 5. Nathan Ormond going to have a good qualifying effort in 6th. Cody Lamas there in 7th. Jesse Turner, Bryce Egan, and Dylan Young are going to be your top 10 starters for tomorrow afternoon's race. Good efforts out of both the go-or-go-home drivers inside of the top 10, Autumn in 5th and Bryce in 9th. One driver I was going to be curious to see where he qualified, since he's starting from the pole in the lights race later on today, is Eric Sadler. He qualified in 26th, so the speed from lights did not transfer over here to the cup side. And I mentioned a lot of big names starting very deep in the field here. Nick Gunther back in 32nd. Destin Bowen, 4-time winner, back in 33rd. 1 week removed from her first career win. Summer Henson's going to roll off the grid in 34th. Points leader Ryan Brommer back in 37th. Laura Chung, a former winner at this racetrack, 39th. Levi McIntyre, second in points, back in 40th. James Qualls, who is third in points, back in 41st. And Dylan Poteet continuing to struggle. Had a decent run last week at Homestead. We thought maybe there was going to be a little glimmer of life out of a driver that was in the Final Four one season ago, but he will start shotgun on the field here for tomorrow afternoon's race. We're going to have to wait and see how it all shakes out. Pit strategy could definitely come into play. Fuel strategy could come into play as well. A lot of different facets of road course racing, and we'll see who is going to be able to get that checkered flag here tomorrow afternoon. But Anthony McCrory becomes the 6th multi-time pole sitter on the season, as he will start us from the inside of row 1 tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Later on this afternoon at 3, it's the lights drivers getting ready to go green here at Watkins Glen as we continue on our weekend here at the road course in upstate New York. Hope you guys enjoyed this qualifying session. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, part of the crew today. We will show you now your full starting lineup, and we'll see you guys either later on this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon, regardless of when. I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of NNSCRA TV. Offline racing at its best.
The following has been a presentation of NNSCRA TV for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of the NNSCRA is prohibited. NNSCRA would like to thank all of our loyal fans, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.